Have you ever witnessed an alpha male, ripped, rich, completely shattered in front of a live audience? Like their self-image, self-perception just completely break down by just another regular schmegular guy. Well, if you haven't witnessed this, you're in for a treat, because this is what happened on an episode of Fresh and Fit. And let me show you. This guy, Wes Watson, and he's in the white, he's going to sound off against this gentleman, Andrew Wilson. He's a Christian YouTuber, podcaster. He's been on Fresh and Fit, and he has, the ideals of a Christian. And he sounds off against this guy. Not that's his client, but this guy, Wes Watson. He is someone who's been to prison for like 7 to 10 years, came out of it, started trying to help people, teaches them coaching, life, business, fitness, all that kind of stuff, to be basically the alphaist male that you can be. And these two ideologies, these two worlds are going to collide on stage, and you're going to witness just the complete undressing of a fragile man in Wes Watson. And it's just wildly entertaining. We're going to talk about this, especially over the topic of what defines success as a man. Let's get into it.
And my definition of success is across the board. If you're not ripped, if you're not rich, if you ain't rare, if you don't stand out, if you ain't across the board successful, it doesn't mean fucking shit to me. If you got straight tits and you're in your Rolls Royce, you look like a fucking clown to me. I'm just laughing at your dumb fucking ass. But this is the whole fucking point. You have a weakness. Change it, motherfucker. How the fuck are you going to lead people if you don't realize your weakness is their way out? They're not going to listen to you. You're sitting there possessing shit that they don't want to have. So, I mean, this is what people say. Oh, it's not about the money. It's about family, Wes. It's about this, about that. Motherfucker, when you're making money, it's about the money. When it's family, it's about family. When you're at the gym, it's about muscle. Whatever you're doing, it's about that. There's no black and white life. It's the gray area. You have to be good at everything. That's the goal, to really excel in every area. I roll in most rooms with successful entrepreneurs, and it's pathetic. They'll have like a before and after picture of their fitness shit, and their after picture looks like their before pic. And I'm like, motherfucker, you're not embarrassed of this shit? Like, you haven't.
Okay, let's start to dissect what he's talking about here. I actually agree with some of what he's saying. Oh, I should say language, warning, but I don't really censor the language. I let people be themselves on this channel. But he says he has to be, I'm going to try to take the best out of it. He's trying to be successful in all areas of life. I agree with that, right? You've been given, everything in your life has been given to you, so you should be able to steward it well, every aspect of it. If you're rich, if you have a lot of money and you're providing for other people, but your family is in disarray, there's something unaligned there. If you are can't provide for anyone, but you love everybody, something is unaligned. In my opinion, every aspect of your life should be, taken care of. Now, at least to some degree, right? Not at least in shambles, at least, in some degree. And we could debate on what that degree is. I could at least pull that out. That is redeemable or admirable in what he is saying. So yeah, there's at least that. Now, do you have to be like this Bugatti wearing tight ripped pants wearing guy? No, you don't have to be that. That's all I'm trying to say.
Enough money, and that's what you put out. You're that big of a pussy. Like, I just can't get behind anything that's not done at a high level. So knock the one thing off the board first, then the next thing, then the next thing. Jados is ripped, rich, and rare. I mean, the whole thing, what's rare mean to me? It means no vices. It means no drugs, no alcohol, no bullshit. You don't have to hide behind nothing. I mean, what's rich? I mean, you get to do what the fuck you want. I don't need you to be a billionaire to say you're rich, or other people, they'll see that even I rent my place. It's $95,000 a month. But they're like, you rent your place.
So he is defining what rare and rich are. And so I think there's these are very shallow definitions of rare and rich. Rich is like, oh, you have a lot of money and you can do whatever you want. That's not rich at all. Rich can mean something where you have a lot of family, have a rich community, people that love you and that you love them, a lot of support. Someone could have all the money in the world, but feel totally alone, and that is not rich. Or maybe rich and wealthy are two distinctives too. And he said rare like no vices, no alcohol, no any of this. While I think that's true, he gives a very shallow definition or examples. You should be like, hey, you know what? Rare could also mean honest and courageous and upstanding and supportive. That stuff is rare. That stuff is actually really rare nowadays in men. Someone who takes responsibility, which I think, if you were to ask me, no one's asking me here, but in my opinion, being a man and being a successful man is multidimensional, but at least base level, it's being responsible. And that's probably, owning responsibility over all aspects of your life. we could get into that more on these guys, not my own opinion.
It's like, you dumb motherfucker. You don't understand how to even operate at my level. People don't buy a $24 million house. They buy $24 million worth of properties that would bring them more money. You don't dump all that into that fucking liability and live in some $24 million pad you bought, stupid. You fucking make investments and you bring it back to this. But everybody thinks they know some shit. And if you don't have the results that I want in some area, I can't fucking listen to you. So most people, I won't listen to them. What are they going to tell me? Some motherfucker comes up to me at the gym and he's like, hey, you should do your push-ups like this. And I say, why? So I can look like you, motherfucker? And the guy's like, oh, no, but like, it looks like you're going to hurt your... Shut the fuck up, dude. I'm end up with your chest if I do that shit. Why would I want that? Or these motherfuckers go in my comments and I'll say some shit on purpose. I'm like, rent or buy. And if you ain't at the level to even do either of these, shut the fuck up and don't even participate. And they just get mad. It's like, you don't get to have an opinion if it's not an option for you.
Okay, let me just pause there. So I actually kind of agree with him here. If I'm going to take... not just opinions, advice. He said opinions. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion from their own perspective. But I'm not going to take advice from someone who hasn't accomplished what I'm trying to accomplish in that area. So, for instance, I'm not going to take advice from I'm not going to take advice from someone who is weak and scrawny to become, big and strong or, fit. I'm not going to take advice from someone who's poor to try to become rich. That's genuine, general, honest opinions or logic there.
You don't get to say my chick's BBL and her fake tits aren't for you. You couldn't get her, you dumb motherfucker. You got a goddamn 3. And that's the worst thing about these motherfuckers. They try to give you relationship advice. Motherfucker, you got a borderline Miami 2. That's like a fucking Mississippi 6. Like, what the fuck you talking about? Don't give me relationship advice to my 10 when you got a 2, motherfucker. Shut up. But this whole thing. People don't think I'm going to put the measuring stick to their motherfucking face. They better just watch what they say around a motherfucker who's beating them in every area.
That one's kind of disgusting to me, quite honestly. He's like, you can't give me a relationship advice because you've got a girl who's a 2 versus a 10, my 10 or whatever. And it's actually kind of crazy because you could have like someone who looks good and you could have a totally awful life, like a miserable life because you have a horrible relationship. And it takes more than just looks to maintain a relationship. That is of no mention within him there. Like you could have a 10, but they just be totally crazy. You know what I'm saying? They just totally crazy. And then they'll make your life just horrible. And there's no mention of love. There's no mention of fidelity. There's no mention of trust. There's no mention of, encouraging, making them better. None of that. Supporting, none of that. And that's a very, very shallow definition. And what's going to happen is a 12-year-old boy is going to watch this and be like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm looking for. And they're going to shape their perspective around that. This is the epitome of taking something that is like an ideal and just diminishing it without any thought or nuance. It's just like this plain, simple, one-dimensional, shallow version of what it means to be successful or have a successful relationship or be a successful man. It's very fifth grade, it's very, Fortnite, this is appealing to fifth graders. This is middle school success. This is middle school success.
And if someone is beating you, just ask them. Just be humble. Like, your bitch is better than mine. How'd you get her? That car's way more than mine. How'd you do it? You make more than me. What's up? Like, just fucking ask. And that's the thing. People aren't humble enough to ask. That's my shit. It's got to be across the board. You better have a bad bitch. You better be ripped. You better fucking be rolling some sick shit. That's what I like. I grew up hustling. There's be rims on my goddamn Phantom. Go out front. That ain't normal Phantom. That's a Mansory Phantom. I don't have the normal shit. Fuck that. Chick's got upgrades. Done.
Well said, Wes. God damn, with the fire. Shit.
I've been watching Gold.
Well said, Wes. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, that's that. This is extremely shallow. Please, if you're watching, please stay till the other counterpoint of this framework because he really just shatters this guy in the white West.
Goldie's content. That's the reason. I'm watching Goldie's content. He be getting me in trouble. My chick don't like his content. She's like, he's making too much sense.
Shout out to Goldie. All right, what about you?
Supposed to follow that up?
It's tough, right?
Get him. Well, hey, what you guys were saying earlier, I need to know what the fuck you said in English.
Okay, so my definition of success will probably be far different than everybody else's on the panel. I'll probably maybe be the lone dissenter, but my definition of success is having a family, having children, and being part of the apparatus of the world. And true wealth is a rejection of materialism. As Christ said himself, what good does it benefit a man to gain the entire world at the cost of his soul. And essentially, when I think of wealth, I think of materialism. It's okay to have materialism. It's not against Christian ethics to become rich, become wealthy. But I just think it's all beside the point, ultimately. You're trying to go for a single thing, and it's to achieve something greater
Do you have
than
money?
the person.
Does he have money?
No.
Do you have money?
No, I don't
How
have.
much
I don't
money do you
have.
have?
I don't have.
He's triggered. He has no argument against the guy in white has no argument against Andrew right now. And so he chooses to move into, he just went on this tirade of gotta have money, gotta have cars, you know, I got my Phantom, it's not a regular Phantom. And then here comes Andrew and saying, you could have money. And that's not against Christian principles, right? There's a lot of rich Christians out there that do a lot of good for people. But he says that is secondary to the main point, which is having a greater impact in the world. He didn't really get into, like, from a Christian standpoint what that means. But this guy Wes is triggered, and now he's asking, do you have money, as a way of like reflecting or even deflecting. You can't talk on money because you have no money.
I have money. But here's the thing. Why?
And then he's going to cause a measuring stick. He's going to be like, I have more money than you. And like what he just previously said, I'm not going to measure, hold a measuring stick to your face. But now he's doing it because that's his only argument. He has no ability to withstand the heat. It's actually not even a heat. Andrew wasn't even directing the point to him. It was just the point was so in stark contrast to what he was saying that he takes it as a personal attack. And he is just a little, watch just a little pinprick. And it's not even directed. It was like a pinprick this way. And then Wes is over here. And he was like offended by it. And so you'll see the undressing of this alpha male in 56 seconds.
Why is money valuable?
Do you have money?
What is money valuable for?
I'm just asking. Do you have money?
I just said no. I'm broke. I'm a nobody.
No, but really, you are?
Yeah.
Is he really broke?
Yeah.
I just want to know. I have to know.
No, I'm not. I'm not one of these rich guys. I don't have a Bugatti. I don't have a Lambo. I don't have a Ferrari.
I just really have to know. Like, how much money you got?
Probably $5 in my pocket. Not much.
He went full Eminem. Okay, he's going full Eminem. Yeah, I'm a white boy. Yeah, I'm broke. Yeah, and there's nothing you can do. He's not playing his game. Andrew's not playing this debate game with him. Like, I got more money than you. I got money too, or whatever. He's not playing that game, and he's changing the battlefield. And if you find yourself in a debate like this, yeah, you can change the battlefield. You could own whatever they're trying to, put you down for, right? Like, who was it? Tyrion Lannister said it like this. It's so stupid, but said it like, wear it as armor. Wear the thing that hinders you as armor, so no one can hurt you with it. And so he can't hurt him with it being poor because he's wearing it as armor. Yeah, I am. I'm poor. Whatever. It's all good.
Did anyone answer for the guy?
Why do they think I'm kidding? I have a family. I take care of an entire family. That takes a lot of money.
He's doing all right.
Okay,
it's okay.
This is the thing, you guys. If you ain't fit, you can't say it's not all about being in good shape.
Why not?
If you don't have money, you can't say it's not all about money.
Yeah, why not?
But if he does have money, he can say that.
Why not? Why can't you say it? Why must you have the thing before you hang on? Let me ask the question.
Because hypothetical is hypocritical.
Let me ask the question.
Hypothetical is hypocritical.
How do you even know what I was going to say before I've even been allowed to ask the question?
I know what you're going to say.
Then what was I going to say?
You're going to say, why can't you ask the question?
Okay, so that's not...
So that is so false, devoid of logic, honestly. It's so like to say like you can't have an opinion on something and you don't want something because you've never experienced it. I don't want to live in China. Did I experience it? No, but I don't want to live there. From what I know and from what I could tell, don't want to live there. Could I change my mind? Maybe, but I don't want to live there now. Do you like, I saw another YouTuber say this, it's true. Do you like to do nasty stuff with other guys? No. Have you ever tried it? No, and I don't want to. Like, it's like, no. This is so silly. Do you want the lifestyle of of this actor, or do you want to work in this field? No, I don't, because I see where it leads to, and I have formulated an opinion. And no, I don't. I'm happy with my life, and so that is so devoid of logic.
What I was going to say. What I was going to say is, how in the world can you create a standard that it's inappropriate to ask somebody, how come if I don't have X thing, because I don't value X thing, does that mean X thing is actually valuable?
You've never experienced
Bingo.
it, so you can't speak about it.
You think that I haven't experienced wealth?
I was asking if you did.
Even poor people experience days of wealth.
I was asking if you did. I don't know who you are.
But even poor people experience days of wealth. And so the thing is
no, definitely not. Definitely not.
Definitely so.
Not.
Definitely.
Now they're combining experiences. I mean, they have to come to terms on definitions. What is wealth? What is poor? And what is experience? Right? Like, could you make a lot of money and then blow it all, and you've experienced days of wealth? And so, yeah, this one's deteriorating.
Definitely so.
I've lived the lowest lows and the highest highs.
Well, what's the distinction? After you make X amount, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you look at these studies done on this, it does not.
I don't fit no fucking studies.
It does not
bro.
hugely improve a person's life.
Are you proud of who the fuck you are?
Why
well,
don't
look
you
at.
even
Are
let
you
me
proud?
get-
If you look in the mirror,
Okay, and now he has been totally undressed because he has to attack the individual person, not the ideology, not what he's saying, but just like, are you proud of who you are? And you're gonna see him just totally crumble here.
would you guys say this motherfucker's proud of who the fuck he is? That's a bag of trash, dude.
And he's pandering to the audience because he's trying to get people on his side, but no one, I don't hear any laughter, I don't hear any cheers, nothing. He's all alone up there, and everyone can see just how fragile this man is.
Pull your fucking shirt
Because
off
I've
and
been-
tell me you're fucking proud
Because
of yourself.
I've been to fucking prison.
Jesus Christ,
Because
look
I've been
at
to
you,
prison?
bro. You got 10-inch arms and tits. Men don't have tits.
No,
you
they
guys.
go to prison where they get fucking.
Fuck yeah,
where
they
get
do.
raped up the ass.
You've never been to prison. Look,
That's
you're
what
talking
happens.
shit you don't know.
They go to prison where they get
Let's-
raped.
Now you get your ass
Hold on,
beat in
hold on,
front
You
of
think that
everybody.
that's better?
guys,
You think that that's
Okay,
better?
let's let him give his definition of success. And then,
Having tits and
He said, he said they go to prison so they get hard in the A. Oh, I missed that one. That one's wild. That one's wild. Yo, that's wild. You went, look, listen, he went from being a Christian to just like not caring. Yo, that's, I can't get with that one. You know, but at the same point, he is under pressure. The guy stood up. The guy's motioning towards him. That is an aggressive. Wes is being aggressive right now, and now, yo, he went crazy with that. You go to prison to get your bum touched right there.
10-inch arms is what a man is.
let's
You
let him-
guys.
let's let him get
Please
his-
don't listen to that.
Wes, let's let him get his thing out, and then
Tits,
we can have different opinions. Yeah,
titties,
Anyway, back to where I was at.
boobs.
Yeah. Okay. Prison. But anyway, if you want,
Fuck yeah.
If you want to follow the successful mantra of a man who tells you he's reformed from prison, understand why they might have gone there to begin with. And
To take care
yes,
of a
I
family.
do think that a rejection of materialism is something missing in society, and I do think that true wealth is the family, and I think that true wealth is having a wife, and true wealth, that is what I think it is, and that is what I think truly success is being able to go home and look your family in the face and know that you're doing everything you can to support them. That's
Then
what
when
I
you
think
go to the
success
beach
is.
with your family,
So that's bring it to concise statement. Yeah, I think that if true wealth is in a family, I would probably add a little bit to that's a family that loves you, right? Some families they don't love them, and there's no love in that family. A wife that you trust and trusts you, that's supportive, that's within an ironclad, honest, trusting, loving relationship that is that's a rock solid wealth. No amount of money can buy that. You could have $1 million, and these millionaires don't have that, and they have, and you could have millions and millions of dollars and all the cars you want, and if your family life is in shambles, you are actually poor. And but the lie that's being shared across all this like manosphere is like, oh, that's what makes you happy, that's what makes you successful, and that's just not true. That's absolutely false.
they're like, "There's my stud dad right there, standing there.
Do you have-
that stud right there with
Do
his
you,
shirt off?
do you have children?
Look at that
Do you,
stud.
do you have children?
I do have children.
How many?
I have two.
You have two. So are you saying that your Bugatti and your money and everything
If they
else is
saw me
worth more
standing
than your
there, they'd be
children?
like, my dad's a superhero. Look what he brought to the table. Look how hard this guy works. He came from
Sure.
nothing to this.
Yeah.
He's, God damn it.
So Andrew's actually affirming him. He's like, yeah, no, that's all true. You provide and stuff. That's all good. And then you're gonna see him just like Wes has no formulated argument. So he's trying to put an argument together, and then I can't do it. I'm just gonna insult him.
You're still whining. Stop whining
That
and
is
just
a
make an
product.
argument.
Dude, I'll smack your fat ass.
So you're gonna attack. You're
Straight
gonna
up.
attack.
He's gonna smack him. Yeah, freaking right, dude. Yeah, right. You've just totally been undone right here. He has nothing to say. He can't even complete a cohesive thought and argument, and he's just I'm gonna smack you. When you see someone here, they're fragile persona of themselves has been shattered. They can't stand for people to look at him, so he's trying to get people to look at his opponent and try to hurl insults and try to undress them as much as he feels undressed and broken down in himself.
All right.
Nobody's
Do you usually attack armed men in Florida?
All right. Let's just.
Yo, that's cold. Do you usually attack armed men in Florida? Yo, you don't mess with armed men in Florida. These Floridians are crazy.
goddamn self.
Guys,
I've never seen such a pathetic motherfucker.
Okay, well,
let's chill out a little bit, man. A little bit.
This is not what men look like.
Let's let him
What do they
finish
look
this
like?
point.
Fucking shit.
What do they look like? Bald prisoners?
Fuck.
Is that what they look like?
This is the problem in society. Is people
Now, Andrew, I think, in my opinion, he's becoming undone here too. He's kind of heckling the guy, and he should stay on the high road. In my opinion, of course, it's very difficult to stay there when you've got a guy threatening to smack you and attack you, and then you feel forced to like, hey, now I've got to consider my gun, you know. And so now he's insulting him back. Not a good look, but it is a small negative compared to the fireworks that is erupting from his all-white ripped jeans tight pants suit.
like this think they can talk to someone like me like that. They really think they can. He knows he wouldn't do shit about it, and that's the problem.
I mean, you're the one who got hostile for having a difference of opinion.
Dude, check it out. You started coming at me about some other shit. This is what the show is supposed to be about. I like this shit. So personally,
So do I.
enjoy it.
Yeah, I enjoy
But
Blood Sports
We
Debates.
can agree to disagree. We can
We can
have a.
we can move on, but
we can-
Jesus
yeah.
Christ, men don't have tits. We can agree on that.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Wow, this is crazy. And I know Fresh and Fit is probably loving this because this is great content. You know, this makes for great TV. Every Christian vlogger is making things about this, so it's good TV.
Physically,
Men usually have
he
hair.
has-
We can
he has
agree on
cro-
that, too.
He has
Physically.
crossed over gender barriers.
Yo, he got the laughters, and now I already know this guy Wes feels totally undone because he tried making fun of him. There was no laughters. He said something about hair, and now you hear audibly there's laughter, and they're laughing on the stage. Fresh and Fit is laughing, you know. So he's gonna he's completely just being demolished here.
I think we can see each side had different
By
opinions.
choice, crossing gender barriers, by growing tits.
So, what about you, brother?
All right, nice.
Crazy.
All right, nice. And so you see this guy, and here's the thing: that's what the world is now promoting, is this fake sense of masculinity and success as a man, and that's what's going to happen. But if you want my opinion, if you made it this far, here's my quick definition of success. I would probably surmise a lot of that with the wealth, with your family, but I would say this, that it boils down to a man who takes more responsibility is more successful. Responsibility in himself, responsibility around him. So if he takes more responsibility about the provision of people around him, like he provides for other people, he is more successful. If other people are providing for him, he is less successful. He is less of a man. That's what a child is. A child shirks responsibility, has zero responsibility. If you run from responsibility, you are a child. You are less of a man. You are not a man. You are a small boy. You are being boyish. You're being childish. You've got Peter Pan, tight pants syndrome that just want to be like fairy Peter Pan for the rest of his life with no responsibility. A man takes on responsibility. If something goes wrong, it's my fault. If things are not right around me, it's my fault. I will choose to take the responsibility to fix that. I think this is what the mandate is in Genesis 1, 2, something like that, 2, where God says, subdue the earth. Take responsibility of a chaos around us and bring order into it. If you see things that are wrong out there in the world, your responsibility is if a man will go out and take on that responsibility and fix it himself. I thought that it would be interesting to bring up definitions of successful men. And here's the first one, right? Here's the first one. His name is Elon Musk, right? He doesn't have the body, but he has the money. So by Wes's interpretation, is he a complete man? I think so, because he's adopted more responsibility. Whenever there's like a flood somewhere in Brazil, he's going to send Starlink, and so they could have communication. I mean, that stuff is crazy. That to me, he's not a Christian, right? But I'm just saying, like, that shallow definition of a man that the world is promoting. You got to be ripped and rare and rich and all this kind of stuff. No, it's he's rich, but he helps a lot of people, and he does that. So this is another one, David Goggins. He's ripped, right? But before David Goggins was famous and rich, he was broke. So I would consider him to be a man before then. Why? Because he had this responsibility that he took in himself. Of course, he became rich later when he wrote his book and he got famous. But before that, I think he would still be a man. But he would have to. I think he would say that too. Let me bring up another example of a man. Okay, Martin Luther King, someone who has changed the world for the better, someone who has brought equality, someone who has fought for civil rights, someone who has changed the face of a nation. And yet, look at this. Despite his fame, considerable influence at the time of MLK's death, his net worth was almost nothing. Here's a brief overview of King's assets post-mortem. He earned $8,000 a year as a preacher. He was a preacher, and the equivalent of $58,000 in 2018 dollars. So this guy is mid-level, mid-grade, the wealth. And he, in my opinion, is one of the most modern, a modern example of one of the highest levels of success a man can achieve. Okay, he had his family, his wife or whatever happened over there with Coretta Scott. Not sure. However, he took on responsibility all around him, and he saw something wrong with the world, and he brought order into chaos. When he didn't do it, like God working through him, and he led movements, and he was not rich, and he was not ripped, but he felt a higher call to take responsibility around him to bring order into a dark world, and he played his role. Now, was he perfect? No. And that's where we need Christ. That's where no man is a perfect man. There was only one that was perfect. His name was Jesus Christ. Everyone else falls short in some way. We could do great things, but we still all fall short in some particular way. And that's why we need to look to Jesus Christ as the definition of a successful man, and not Wes, or not any of these guys, anyways. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think the definition of a successful man is. Thanks. I will see you guys in the next video.